We will have today the honor of having Rocio Montero Dominguez with us to present the Revenue Masterclass today. She is a clinical professor and a program coordinator in La Roche Marbella. I'm Marina Yagi. I'm the marketing manager for La Roche globally. And we also have Adam and Wael here with us from the Egyptian Hotel Association. Thank you for joining us, all of you. Sorry that we started a bit late, but we are going to make it worth it, your time. So let's start. To start with, we will have a brief message from the Egyptian Hotel Association. So Adam and Wael, over to you.
Please, Adam.
Thank you, Marina. Thank you for the lovely presentation, and thank you everyone for joining us today. Happy Eid to all, and I'm sure everyone had a good break, so now we're back to work. First of all, I would like to thank Sommet Education, everyone in Sommet Education for this great collaboration, and as well, Rusio, it's a pleasure to see you and get your input today. So I believe this could be very beneficial for the people listening or attending with us, and hopefully everyone can benefit from this very much. And from the EHA, we are very proud to have this collaboration, and hopefully we can do much more sessions together. And I will pass to Wael.
No. Well, thank you very much. Thank you, Adam. Thank you, Marina. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. We're actually proud to have such partnership with the Sommet Education. It is one of the great initiatives that we are endorsing always, especially being part of the next GM competition that is actually spread all over Egypt, and we encourage everyone to participate. Such initiatives like an awareness sessions for revenue management is one of the initiatives that we're always encouraging to enhance and to increase capabilities in terms of revenue management, which is a big beauty in our industry. And it makes a big difference having or understanding all the related logistics behind is having a real impact on the spot. So I will leave the mic back to Marina and you for your presentation, and we're looking forward for a successful one. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now we will move forward already to the masterclass. So over to you, Rocio. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Marina, for your presentation. As you introduced me, I'm one of the teachers from La Roche Marbella. My field of specialization is revenue management. At the moment, also doing my PhD in behavioral economics to try to see how we can improve revenue management from the economic and behavioral side. Yeah. Today, I wanted to do a brief presentation of what are the trends that may be applicable to your destination and area. Indeed, I was talking to Marina before because I prepared this presentation a long time ago. And since I prepared it till now, things have changed a lot. Yeah. So I decided also to keep what I prepare, together with some near hints, because that will demonstrate really what is the need of new adaptation, the automatization and technology in the days that we are. We can start with the presentation, we can move on. And the first thing that I wanted to share with you is I was researching a little bit about what was the situation in the destination of Egypt and the area. And it was super promising for 2026 before the conflict that we are going through. Because the projections were amazing. The tourism revenue forecast was nearly doubling the numbers of the previous year. The inbound demand was increasing as crazy. But and the strategic pivot indeed in that situation was those that really are technological support there. So they have some technological support, that they have tools that can differentiate from others are really the ones that will take the major piece of the market share. Indeed, on what I know so far about Egypt is that is a destination that is growing in number of hotels, but also growing in quality and the type of service delivery that you are providing. The Egyptian hospitality, of course, is in the roots of your culture, but also you are moving to a more tech-enabled type of delivery. Technology is more present in the new properties that you are opening. And also there is a new niche of the market based on the sustainability of the destination, using eco-lodges and long-term residences for external people. So that was before the conflict, but after the conflict, we face a new situation. That is in the new slide coming. Basically, with the conflict that everybody is suffering, due to the Iran conflict, we can move on, Marina, with the slides so that they can see. Now the situation has changed a little bit. There is a revised forecast that foresees between a 5 and a 15% drop in arrivals to your destination. Because although Egypt is not directly involved in the conflict, people have certain perception of risk if they go to your destination. Also, one of the main sources of tourists for you in this destination is Middle East. So the amount of Middle East tourists will decrease between 11 and 27% during 2026. At least this is the forecast. Some flights may be disrupted due to all this conflict. So at the end of the day, that is affecting the destination, although you are not directly involved in the conflict. In these type of situations is when revenue management and the new technologies become really relevant for any hotelier. Basically, because technology can help you to adjust your services, adjust your prices, adjust your commercial actions to be, let's say, more effective. Because in this era of conflict, Egypt still can capture certain part of demand, that is coming from certain markets that were going to the Middle East. And they are looking now for a replacement. And in this trial of capturing this change of demand, the speed is the most important variable in the reaction. And if we use traditional ways of approaching pricing and selling online and selling our products, maybe we are not prepared enough to capture all the potential chunk of demand that we want. Okay, so basically, all the new perspectives are not so optimistic as they were at the beginning of the year. Still, there is a space for optimism, and there are many things that can be done. So basically, what I want you to understand in this session is that the infrastructure that the Egyptian government is generating with airport upgrades, there are improvements in different transportation methods. I'm sure, as you can see in the following slide, that the government is also supporting tourism with touristic campaigns in new fairs and conventions related, like the Future Hospitality Summit in Cairo next November. That will help you to showcase your new luxury hotels, okay, how the international brands are spending, not only in the traditional hotels, but also in long-term residences. You can also showcase the amazing resorts that you have close to the Nile area. So at the end of the day, if the government supports hoteliers, and I'm sure it is in that approach, you can monetize all these campaigns into new demand. To do so, you need technology. Yeah, that's true. In the next slide, you can see is a very basic picture. Yeah, but the demand is there, the market is there, the infrastructure is getting ready, yeah, and is improving a lot. So now, how we capture that value into our hotel rooms, in our perspective of sale and our pricing strategies. That should be the main concern of Egyptian hoteliers. Yeah. If we move on, Marina, traditional forecasting and traditional approach to revenue management now is not fulfilling those needs. Okay, in the past, we used to do static forecasting purely based on historical data. Yeah, that was somehow biased by outdated trends. Yeah. Nowadays, the standard in all the destinations, not only for Egypt, is the machine learning. How we use artificial intelligence to automatize our forecast, to automatize our prices in a real-time demand scenario. Okay, there are already hotels in Cairo, in Upper Egypt, that are using these tools, yeah, to manage the seasonality and the volatile demand. And with all the changes that we are suffering worldwide, yeah, that especially can affect areas closer to the conflict, or where we are receiving clients with that market. For example, here in Marbella, where I'm located, tourism from the Middle East has stopped coming, yeah, or those are coming and coming with the different concepts of tourism that is more the residential tourism, staying for longer terms, and they are not staying in hotels. They are looking for their own villas and residences. How we know that? With data. How we can forecast all these changes? With the use of artificial intelligence. Huh? All the tools that you have in the market at the moment to help you with the forecast are using this machine learning algorithms. They are using this automatization, and this is the key for their success. Doesn't mean that we need to fully rely on the machine. No. Unfortunately, there are no artificial intelligence algorithms that can fully fulfill all the needs that we have in revenue management and our pricing strategy. Sometimes they make mistakes, yeah? So still needs the human overriding of the information. But what they kind of replace the human expertise, but they help us to save a lot of time, yeah, that we can use in creating better strategies. Yeah. So with all the compilation of data, nowadays you can go into ChatGPT and create agents that can automatize your reports, that can give you alerts in case that you have something wrong going in your PMS. So there are many tools that we have at hand, and not necessarily you need to be an expert prompter or an expert software designer, because artificial intelligence can replace that level of expertise and can help you to generate quite useful tools. Yeah? Another matter that I really wanted to highlight in this masterclass is the total revenue management. If we move on, Marina, we can see the typical, this I'm sure that at some point you have seen it before, maybe not with this terminology, but it's based on the iceberg theory. Yeah, the iceberg theory says that we only see 10% of the top of the iceberg. Yeah, but what is under the water is by far 10 times bigger than what we just see on the surface. Yeah. In Egypt, all the hotels need to change their approach to revenue management, to this classical rooms revenue management, and you need to think about the overall approach, yeah, a more holistic approach in revenue management, including F&B, spa, meetings, events, how you can monetize your shuttles, transportation, and any ancillary revenue coming from other services. So if automatizing our pricing strategies for the rooms that we sell is important, also it gets really high importance how we optimize the resources of a hotel, how we optimize our restaurants, how we optimize our spa, how we optimize the revenue per square meter in our banqueting spaces, how we can use the transportation shuttles that we have in our hotel, yeah, either to support the value of what we are selling, yeah, or creating a better perception of what we are selling. How many of the services you can deliver in your hotel, yeah, they can be revenue managed. Sometimes we don't think about how much we can increase the revenues coming from F&B, yeah, just by stepping back, analyzing the data, and thinking how you can optimize the space of your restaurant, how you can optimize the rotations of the seats, how you can do a better menu engineering with the prices, yeah. Things like that can boost the revenue in your F&B outlets by 4-6%, yeah, just changing a couple of details. When you have a spa in the hotel, how you can cross-sell the spa from your F&B outlets or from your front desk, yeah, how you can optimize the services, how you can deal with the peak moments of demand or peak moments of demand for specific services in the spa. That is quite interesting and can also help you to boost the revenue generation in that. I remember visiting a hotel and I was asking the spa manager, what is your capture ratio for the spa? And she looked at me and said, capture ratio? She was not very sure of what it was. Yeah. Say, yes, out of all the clients that come to the hotel, what is the percentage of clients that come to your spa? Oh, that, yeah. So sometimes we need to give further training to our staff in all the departments in order to align them with the vision of revenue management that the company has. Yeah, you need to train them. You need to explain them the relevance of optimizing the resources that they have at hand. Yeah, and sometimes brainstorm with them, with all the departments together to see what are the tools that you're using, maybe in rooms that can be applicable to the spa, or what are you doing in the F&B that can impact your events department. So we need to provide alignment to all the departments, and all of them need to be implied in our revenue management strategy, because that's the best way to boost the results that the hotel will gain. Yeah. Along with this idea of going beyond the RevPAR to move to the total revenue per available room, to move to the TRevPAR, yeah. Also, we need to think about what is the flow through, because sometimes revenue managers are expected to boost the sales, yeah, but we don't think about what is the contribution of each of those services, what is the cost of the delivery of those services, and how we can optimize that to impact our profitability in a better way. Yeah, so it's not all about boosting the sales. Yeah, our operational teams also need to be aware of what is the cost of those services. And it is interesting that the staff that is working for us in sales always is aware about what is the variable cost of the services that we are delivering, how we can improve that variable cost, how we can improve the final profitability of the service with a higher margin. Yeah? So sometimes we don't put enough emphasis, yeah, so people know exactly how much it costs us to open a restaurant, for example. What is the break even of opening a restaurant? Is it worth it to have it open or not? Yeah. So that would be interesting, yeah, for them to understand how they can do better. Yeah? If we move on, another relevant matter nowadays is to have a centralized base of data. We need to unify all the data that we have in the hotel. Okay, so the connectivity, and the management of data as a whole is really, really important. So we should have an integration that should be omni-channel. All our tools should be connected in order not to waste time in terms of updating data manually. Okay, so your CRM and your PMS needs to be clean with really updated data. They need to be connected with market intelligence, with your social media, with any marketing campaign that you are launching. Your online sales should be bringing the reservation directly into the PMS. All the data channels need to be really well integrated with our channel management tools. So they are the first ones to be updated. They are always up to date in the last changes that we have done in order to differentiate from the rest. So sometimes we have plenty of tools, but each tool is independent. And we need to go to different dashboards that are not integrated. And this matter makes us lose a lot of time. And also, we lose data. Data nowadays are the most important resource of a company. Yeah? And they need to be integrated all in one dashboard, yeah? Or the minimum number of dashboards that we can. And there should be seamless connectivity among all the tools that we have. So that will help us to automatize the pricing realities that we want to pose for our clients, and will accelerate the process, helping us to sell more. Yeah. In that sense of acceleration and speed, yeah, I think that creating this one single dashboard will give you agility. Now, if we move on in the next slide, I just wanted to tell you how easy it can be capitalizing all these quick changes. Sometimes quick changes that happens last minute. Yeah, indeed, the European market that is really relevant in your destination in the last year is changing really, really quickly. The patterns are changing really, really fast. Yeah. Of course, these change of patterns are impacted by all the things that are happening worldwide. Yeah. But because there are many wars and many conflicts going on around the world, the European market can decide in a real short period of time where they are going, where they are flying. Yeah. So this is crucial for all type of hotels, I will say, but is even more crucial for resort hotels and resort destinations. Huh? And although Egypt has also capital cities where you can find corporate hotels, yeah. When people from Europe think about Egypt, at least that you are a businessman or a businesswoman that needs to go there, you think about Egypt for your holidays. Yeah? You're thinking about resorts. You're thinking about visits. Yeah. So, what will us make? What can make us change our opinion? Political changes are happening, changes in the currency, yeah, that maybe makes your destination more affordable for Europeans. Yeah, so you need to be prepared to make these changes. Yeah. To adjust to the changes that happen in the demand, yeah, and the trends, the patterns are changing very quickly. This is something that we have been suffering since we came back from the lockdown in the COVID, yeah. The historical patterns are not applicable anymore. They change very quickly, And at least you have some technical support, some new technology that can help you to identify these patterns faster. It's very difficult to do it manually because of the speed of how everything happens. Yeah? So the only way to capture this European demand or capitalizing the changes that happen so quickly will be knowing these patterns in real time. And that is done with technology. The technology will give you this dynamic agility to go farther, yeah, than those hotels or destinations that don't have it. Nowadays, the technology in the majority of the cases is linked to mobile phones. Huh? If we think about how people book hotels nowadays, yeah, we think about the European market, or if we think about the Middle East markets, yeah, as you see in the following slide, I would say that 90% of the people that book on a phone, yeah, and there are still hotels and companies that having adjusted to this phone perspective. Also, more and more, there is a new tendency growing. That is, I go to ChatGPT and I ask ChatGPT to design ChatGPT, Gemini, Copilot, any of these artificial intelligence platforms. Give me a proposal of a trip, yeah, whatever destination. If you don't work on your product, you don't give visibility online to your product, to your brand, to your hotel. If you don't appear on social media, if you don't appear in blogs, in publications, in any place that you can find online, it would be very difficult that ChatGPT offers you as a potential hotel or a potential destination, yeah? Because they search for the information online. Yeah? So another thing that all the companies should be doing at the moment, apparently Hyatt is one of the best ones in capitalizing the result of this strange algorithm in ChatGPT, is how I generate content online that will drive potential leads to my brand or hotel. Okay, and that will only happen with online presence. Now we have ChatGPT installed in our phones, we have ChatGPT in our computers, and we spend a lot of time with these artificial intelligence tools. Yeah? But all these tools are biased. They are biased by the information that you find online. So the more presence that you have there, the easier will be that the machine, the tool will offer your hotel brand or destination as a potential destination for the client. If we move on, Marina, so at the end of the day, we're looking for the monetization of the immediate. How you can do so with technology? So here I include the target market as younger Middle Easterns or European travelers, but each hotel, I'm sure that you have a specific segmentation that you need to be aware of, yeah? And I'm sure that maybe half of the segments that you have in your hotel can be a target for this. Nowadays, we need to know our client very well in order to customize the offer, to customize the price, to customize the perspective that they have about our company. How you can do that with artificial intelligence? How you can do that? Researching the data that they leave behind in the tracking of all their visits. So it's essential that all your hotels are bookable through a user-friendly app on the phone not only the one that Booking or Expedia or all these online travel agencies have. Think about investing in your own app. Think about investing in your own loyalty program. Think about investing in a user-friendly booking engine for mobile phones. Yeah. All of us know Marriott hotels around the world. Largest hotel company in the world. They have around 50% of the reservations in the hotels worldwide coming through their loyalty program. Yeah, oh boy. So if it works for them, it should work for us too. Yeah, and we should focus on how I benchmark the best one. Yeah, and without a user-friendly booking engine usable in phones that can help me to select different type of routes. Sorry, that can help me to enroll in different loyalty offers that you have in your loyalty program, like instant upgrades or different packages for different rooms. Yeah, you would not be monetizing this sense of immediateness that the younger generations may have. To finish, I want to wrap up with the last slide. Okay. They told me to keep it short. Yeah. Just a quick wrap up of what we have been looking at in this presentation. Forecasting tools. You need the use of artificial intelligence. You need the use of technology. You need to keep an eye on how your brand and your hotel can be positioned in these AI platforms. Yeah, what I can do to be a preferred destination, a preferred brand or hotel in these platforms. Unify your data channels. Okay, if you unify the different sources of data that you have in the hotel, that will help you to implement total revenue management. The alignment in the data reporting, in the how you record the data, how you storage the data, also will help you in the alignment if all the departments have access to those data to do total revenue management. Yeah. Think about how you can deploy mobile first personalization. So how your travelers, your potential clients can personalize their stay directly from the phones. Yeah. And never forget about exploring new niche travelers. Yeah. Looking for wellness experiences, looking for sustainable experiences, looking for adventure experiences. Yeah. And no matter what you do, always highlight that you have a safe environment in Egypt. Okay. At the moment, all the authorities, all the banks should be publishing online how good it is to go to Egypt, how safe it is. Yeah. Because that really will somehow make the final decision easier for those travelers that are coming from Europe. Yeah. So in this play, in this competition, the winners will be those that really know how to modernize their cells, okay, and how to modernize the operational backbone of the hotel, uniting, yeah, aligning all the departments and all the sources of revenue and data that you have in the hotel. Okay, so from my part, yeah, if you have any question, I'm more than happy to answer any question that you may have.
Well, Rocio, thank you very much for your presentations. I would ask a questions, I guess, on behalf of many audience somehow, because definitely we all believe that technology is the name of the game currently. If we are not up to it, we will be by the end of the line anyway. So you have been pointing finger into keeping an eye on the new positioning in terms of any AI platform when it comes to forecasting. Do you have any specific recommendations on the way people should focus on forecasting through AI tools? Do you have certain recommendations, certain steps, like a daily routine revenue managers, or even though who does not have revenue managers, reservation managers would focus on? Because you've been also pointing finger into a very important matter, which is the resort destination, which is representing a very big portion in the hospitality in Egypt, especially when it comes to the Red Sea, either Sharm el-Sheikh, Hurghada, or Marsa Alam, the top 3 destinations, and coming soon also as well the North Coast, and the Mediterranean is coming into this line. So the question is how we optimum or utilize the AI into serving proper forecasting through certain steps that you would recommend.
Okay. Always, everything depends on what is the budget that you have to invest in technology. Okay. There are already revenue management systems that can optimize the forecast very quickly with different sources of information. But nowadays, with artificial intelligence, you can even generate agents within the paid versions that basically what they do is to give you alerts that are automatized, so you don't need to be always looking at the data all the time. Yeah, you just receive these alerts. You have with artificial intelligence platforms, you can design those agents. Okay, they will give you the prompts. You have even artificial intelligence apps that show you how to generate an app that can help you with that, okay? And then you can connect maybe with your PMS or with any source of information that you have. So with this automatization, basically what you gain is time and being able to pay attention to other strategies that maybe require your attention, not just reporting, and pressing the button to get how much I'm getting. Also, you can generate these agents connected to business intelligence tools. I don't know how much you're aware of these tools that tell you what is the potential demand into your destination according to the leads that the different airlines are getting, to know for when people are looking for their flights. Yeah, so that way you can anticipate the demand before it happens, and you can double check that the patterns in the demand are the ones that you are expecting, or they should be changed. So your prices should be changed. So with the use of artificial intelligence platforms, normally this requires a paid version, of course. You can generate all these tools that can help you to do this anticipation of a demand with those alerts. Then when it comes to the analysis of the data, you also have free tools online, like for example, Python through Google Colab. Okay, Google Colab has a platform where you can download this statistical tools like Python or R. I don't know if you're familiar with that. So all these projections with forecasting, with really complicated logarithms, don't need to be done on Excel anymore. If you don't have the source, let's say the resources to invest in a revenue management system that will do it for you. You can define the method that you want to use in your forecast. You input it into the platform, and once you have the model, you just need to include the new data. And that will give you the forecast in a more accurate way, so that they can help you in your productivity and effectivity of the data. So we have plenty of tools that can help you depending on how much you want to spend on the resources. Of course, we have amazing revenue management tools like Ideas, Duetto, and specific tools that are in the market. But we are aware that a small independent hotel maybe cannot do that, yeah, because they don't have the resources to invest in that. But still, they can have access to cheaper tools online with artificial intelligence that can somehow replace what they can do.
Well, I totally agree with you, and I don't think that would be a sort of advertisements if we yes, definitely. If you have an RMS, that's definitely an ideal scenario. But since I know that I would say more than 95% of the resort hotels does not have RMS because that the business module there, I understand because I have both exposures. I have the city hotel and the resort destinations.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the business are coming through travel agents and deals and allotments and all these issues.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand that the target audience that who is attending from Red Sea or even Sharm el-Sheikh might say the same. But however, yeah, but I want to endorse first of all your total revenue management because the total revenue management people are always forgetting the MICE and the F&B while there are huge big potential behind. So I salute you because that's one of the very important aspects that we have to focus on the coming period. But going back to the resort destinations, because I know that there might be lots of audience coming from those destinations watching us now. I just need to make sure that if you are having certain recommendations like free tools, I guess that would be also encouraging them for the next step as well, because they still do not believe that RMS will be supporting in their operations due to the nature of the business module they have. It's coming anyway, because even travel agents are moving very soon online and things will be all totally online. We're all into the directions of having everything online somehow. B2B and B2C and all these issues with all the parity issues that we're all suffering currently because of the exposure, and that gives a message anyway. The partner deal that we're always seeing on partner.com, that's a leakage because of travel agent rates are exposed to and online to the B2C. So by the end of the day, my question here, if you have certain recommendations for the resort destination, for certain free tools away from Duetto or ideas or other RMS that might be a bit expensive, or maybe the people does not yet believe on this. However, I see the big value behind because I'm using one of both systems, which is getting lots of big added value to the decisions because you have all what does it takes to take a decision, either go up or go down, drop a bit the rates. There's big potential in that area. There is, it's by the end of the day as a screen, a benchmark like stock, and it's supporting definitely with other tools like the Lighthouse and many other things that we're always having like tools supporting the decisions by the end of the day. Free tools that could support or encourage people to go into the directions of the RMS.
Yes, with Python, you can do you can replace a revenue management system doing a model of a decision tree statistical model. So if you train the model with your information and your data, the decision tree can tell you what the outcome can be, what is the recommendation at the end of the day, and you can do that with Python. That is
can you share this on the chat, please, to the audience?
Yeah.
That would be also great.
I can share it there. It's within Google Colab is the platform. There you can work with Python, okay? And you don't need to be an expert prompter, but because in this app, the artificial intelligence will help you to create the prompt. So if you have a basic idea of what you want to develop, or what do you need for the hotel. Okay, so for example, I want to create a decision tree based on the demand or the demand per segment that I have in this set of data to generate a rate structure that will be changing according to the demand. Yeah, if you use artificial intelligence in the platform, the platform will give you the prompt. So not necessarily you need to be a programmer of Python. Okay, so that's the good thing of the artificial intelligence tools that we have. You can generate models online with this type of tools for free. Yeah, and they can replace, of course, not to the level of Duetto or ideas. Yeah, but a basic
supporting that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
I have one question, sorry to interrupt, from the audience, from Mohamed Mara. He asked, most hotels in Sharm el-Sheikh, in Hurghada, in Marsa Alam, started to make huge discounts and offers for European guests. Do you think this is the right solution to increase hotel occupancy during the current crisis in the Middle East?
Okay, I would say that making discounts when there is no demand is not the solution, because if there is no demand, those that are coming will come for a discounted price. Yeah, so that will drag your let's say profitability down, and you are not going to generate new leads because the situation is there. So maybe what you need to think about is, what is the real target nowadays? Is the Middle East still a target? I don't know, because I haven't found that out, but is still Middle East coming to Egypt? If it is not coming, what is the point of dropping the prices for that market? Maybe what I need to generate is a product that reaches real potential clients, real potential demand clients. Maybe I need to focus in all the segments, European segment or regional tourists, within Egypt. So the idea of just dropping the price because of dropping the price, at the end of the day, what makes is that hotels start to compete, to fight against other, and when you see the reality, you're having only the same demand, but at a cheaper price.
Well, if you allow me as well, Rosio and Marina, to complement what you have said, and I know, thank you, Mr. Amara, for your question, but exactly as Rosio said, there are many factors to consider. Competitors, what they are doing, flights, availability, there are still arrivals that you know, and definitely through your connections with the big names like Tiwi, like other big names, you can know what are the free seats available. From this perspective, you have some data, and this is coming through and again into the same direction, which is the RMS. If you have the proper data in front of your eyes, you will be able to take the right decision. If you are just dropping the rate because of crisis, exactly as Lucio said, this might not be a solution because there's no arrival. You're dropping the rate and it does not reflect positively on the occupancy, on the pickup that you are targeting to have. Still, by the end of the day, the factors, the homework that you should do is to check the flights, availability on the planes through your big names that you are dealing with, big names, markets. I'm going to give you an example. I had a conversation today with my director of sales and marketing asking me to drop the rates for the Spanish market because of the competitors drop the rate. I said, I understand the situation, I understand, but they're still coming. If the competitors are dropping the rate, yes, that's an affecting tool we have to consider definitely. But I cannot drop the rate dramatically because they're coming anyway. Yes, we have to secure certain issues. We might put some tweaks. We might go for the directions of the kickback, incentive, lots of tools that you could use without dropping your rates because of there are crises. Definitely, Egypt had negatively affected despite that there's no actions in the country, but we're always named in the Middle East. If you have seen recently, there was a smart move from the Egyptian Hotels Authority by positioning the hotels, the pavilion of Egypt into Africa, not Middle East, to deliver the message in such crisis. Yes, we're part of the Middle East, but we're aware of this. But people does not know this because of the media, because of things, lots of things. Yes, there are certain markets that drop dramatically, which is America, all the Far East, because of the transit in the Gulf area and passing through. Also, we have the Latin Americans because they are combined, many occasions combined their trips with Israel and Jordan as well. So if you have the data, if you have the factors, you should be able to compensate this. We have lost such business from such markets. You should be understanding now that the French market is going very good. Italian is still traveling very good. Spanish is coming because that's the peak season for the Spanish and the Semana Santa holidays that we have. It's all about data. So you have to equip yourself. You have to have the right data, enabling you to take the right decisions, which is still by the end of the day, the RMS.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And think how you can enhance your value, how you enhance your image, instead of dropping the price. Keep the price and try to give some value add, but without dropping the price.
Amazing. Thank you so much. I'm going to move to the next slide just so we can talk quickly about, of course, the competition that we have. So quickly.
Yes. Shukra Salelan. I don't know if I pronounced it well.
شكرا جزيلا.
Zealand.
Thank you very much, Rosio.
Amazing. So I'm going to go over really quickly about the competition that we have. So we have the Next GM of Egypt. This is the competition. It's a national competition that is designed to identify and develop the next generation of hotel managers in Egypt. This competition is a collaboration between Sommet Education and the Egyptian Hotel Association. And of course, the goal is to identify high potential hospitality professionals, to develop leadership for Egypt's hotel industry, strengthen the international hospitality standards, and also prepare future general managers. What is the opportunity for the participants? So the Sommet Education Foundation will offer one fully funded scholarship for the executive diploma and Master of Advanced Studies in International Hotel Management. So it's one winner. And of course, the competition runners-up will enjoy a 60% scholarship to the executive diploma Master of Advanced Studies in International Hotel Management, plus the complementary sustainable hospitality and tourism development online certificate course. And all the entrants who submit a project meeting the criteria will also receive a 60% scholarship towards the executive diploma or the Master of the Advanced Studies in International Hotel Management. And then how to apply. I will say here that I already mentioned on the questions box, but you're going to receive an email with all the information, of course, with the online form that you can send everything just for you to know. But general information, the entry deadline is Monday, 1st of June, 2026. You're going to receive that link. You have to prepare and submit a proposal for a luxury and sustainable hotel concept located in your home city. You also have the projects should demonstrate creativity, an understanding of hospitality trends, and a commitment to sustainability and luxury standards. You have to also submit your details and send your presentation to the email shown on the screen. And the entries must have the form of a presentation, 10 to 15 slides, of course, together with your resume. So the presentation must include the concept, the general concept and the vision of the hotel, location and justification, sustainability strategy, design, customer experience and innovation, and value proposition. Again, you'll receive all this information by email. Not sure if Adam or Wael would like to join with any other information, but I think that's it. We do have a very long presentation. And of course, if you have any questions or anything like that that you haven't asked during the session, we're more than happy to answer outside. So please let us know on the follow-up email. You can always ask questions as well. And I would like to thank all of you for joining us today. Rosio, thank you so much for this valuable insight into the revenue management in Egypt. Adham and Wael, thank you so much for joining us. We know your time is precious, so thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you all.
Bye.
Thank you. Goodbye.